with my art, a lot of it is like colored pencil mixed with painting, mixed with sketching. That's kind of where I'm going now. A lot of it, what I used to do, like there's some up there that I've done that's like Sailor Jerry influenced in that Thor painting there.
Okay.
So I've kind of been going through a growth process where I started doing really weird stuff, and then I started doing very comic book stuff, like straight up like Roy Lichtenstein kind of stuff. And then I moved into doing more tattoo-looking stuff, and now it's kind of like where I'm coming back around and trying to pull it all together.
Okay, all right.
So I'm not where my fine art isn't at a finished point, and it may never be completely like settled on what my style looks like.
All right.
But there's always going to be like that element of comic book kind of volume and line art. Like I like the Disney volume as far as aesthetically. Like when I look at this art, I can see in my own mind whether it's like it looks correct or not in some kind of cosmic kind of way, you know. So there's always going to be like a consistency to what I'm producing. The medium might change, but it'll still be able to tell that I did it because of how I see things.
Okay. Who are your main influences when it comes to your art? Do you find that you draw from particular people, or is it an overall style that you...
My earlier influences, like especially right during college and right after college, were like Charles Burns, which is very black and white graphic, Bernie Wrightson, which is very, comic booky, but also kind of Victorian, kind of heel straight Frankenstein, and it was a really amazing version of that.
And now, who are your influences now?
Yeah,
or you're not really drawing from that, you're just kind of drawing from your past
I've kind of fallen out of concentrating on specific artists and following specific artists, and it's more now where I'm just like looking at everything all the time, like stuff that's on Tumblr, tattoo art photos from magazines.
So it's all of it, just kind of...
Yeah, and I'm kind of to the point now where I'm not really trying to emulate anybody, or, I'm not trying to mimic anybody's style. I'm just kind of like sitting down and like producing something and it's mine,
Okay, well, so let's say it's 5 years down the road. Do you see yourself kind of moving in another direction? Are you going to continually evolve, or do you think that you're just going to spend more time just developing?
I think what I'm doing is I'm just kind of like... things are getting siphoned into a small where I'm continually refining to a point where I'll eventually arrive at like how I manage everything, how my consistent
final vision
treatment.
Okay. What do you think where does the gallery plan on staying here in this location? Are you going to expand? Are you going to maybe move to have another location? Or what are your plans?
The possibility of having a second tattoo location is something that's occurred to me, or another location that's strictly a private environment. But for now, I think this is the best spot for us in Fort Myers. Like, we really looked for a long time to find a space, and this was like definitely the best one we could find. Not just because of the inside, but also because of having the patio out back too.
Yeah, that's got to be really handy.
Yeah, there are only so many locations that have that.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to tell me about the artists that work here?
Steve Bananas, he's been here almost since we opened, a little bit after that. He's a solid tattoo artist. Everybody loves him as far as his personality goes.
Who's the rock star?
We don't really have a singular rock star. I think we're trying to be a little bit more... if anybody thinks there's a rock star, they probably think it's me. But I try not to go there. And then Matt Lackey is a painter that also has started tattooing. So everybody has their own strengths. We're not trying to like directly compete with each other. We're all just trying to find